Our Fight Network Year in Review show continues. John Pollock, John Ramdeen, and Robin Black with you, and we move on to a category that has lots of options of which way to go, and that is Upset of the Year for the past 12 months. I think there are a number of different fights you can look at here, guys. One of the biggest to me was Andrey Koreshkov welcoming in Benson Henderson. There was nobody that gave Andrey Koreshkov a prayer in that fight. A lot of people just look back to that. Ben Askren destroyed that man a number of years ago. And what Andrey Koreshkov has done coming back, granted, he just lost the title to Douglas Lima, but that was a big statement to me about where the Bellator top-end fighters at 170 and other weight classes as well are at, because Koreshkov dominated Benson Henderson.
An eye-opening experience, that's what it comes down to. And I think people thought it was a foregone conclusion. Ben Henderson signed by Bellator this $300,000 contract that he would go in and wipe the floor with the competition. A rude awakening.
Things changed very quickly, too, because Koreshkov played a game of managing that range and keeping the space between the two of them and hurting Ben when he came in, knowing Ben would try to wrestle him down, which is a very modern game. People are, the level of competency in these new ideas goes up so quickly.
I think Valentina Shevchenko surprised a lot of people when she beat Holly Holm, putting herself in a very advantageous position. But my pick was what we talked about earlier, UFC 199. Michael Bisping, on 2 weeks' notice, no less, getting the call to replace Chris Weidman and stopping Luke Rockhold in the opening round. I don't know of anybody that predicted Michael Bisping to win this fight. It was a fight that we had seen. It was pretty solid the first time with Luke Rockhold submitting him with one arm, no less, and in this fight, a complete 180. And Michael Bisping, I don't think anybody would have predicted this guy would have been middleweight champion if we were to poll every single person in the industry on January 1st.
I think, Robin, I think you picked Michael Bisping. I know you're a big Michael Bisping fan, but based on, I agree, based on what I've seen of Luke Rockhold, I watched him beat Jacare. I've seen how good he looked in the UFC after getting stopped by Vitor Belfort. He came back, stopping a number of luminaries in the sport. Michael Bisping taking this fight on short notice. I know Michael Bisping was partying in Toronto. He wasn't training. So it just made sense that Luke Rockhold would come into this fight and just dismantle Michael Bisping. But Robin pointed out to me, Michael Bisping knows how to fight. There's no pressure. He goes in and does his thing. You're right, Michael Bisping has punched and kicked pads and sparred with training partners and been in the fire so many times. He just got his opportunity to be comfortable, and it was just one of the best moments in mixed martial arts history.
Don't forget it, Mike. Don't forget your boy Robin Black knew you could do it.
There you go. Donald Cerrone and Michael Bisping, it evens out. Your pick for upset of the year, Mr. Ramdeen.
Yeah, and the reason why I think it's the upset of the year is because if you go back and you watch that fight with Holly Holm and Miesha Tate, Holly Holm was dominating the entire fight. People understood what she was capable of when she stopped Ronda Rousey, but her ability to avoid Miesha Tate and stop her from doing what she does best and dragging this fight down to the ground. But one of the great things about Miesha Tate and her importance in the sport is that never say die attitude. And even if she gets beaten up, she still moves forward. She's one of the toughest athletes in this game. Well, I know she's retired from the sport now, but she always believed in herself, and she just had to wait for her moment, and she never gave up, and this moment came at the very late moments of this fight, and she became a UFC
Has there been
champion.
more of a roller coaster year for a fighter than Miesha Tate? From January the 1st and till now. I mean, went into the highs of getting the fight with Holm, beating Holm in a big upset, then losing to Amanda Nunes, losing to Raquel Pennington, and then retiring.
The truth is she never recovered from that win. Do you know what I mean? She never recovered from that win. She had chased the championship, chased the title, chased respect, and all of those things. And when she got it, she didn't know where to go.
Instead of the obsession, like George St. Pierre has told us, that once you get there, you have to be mentally insane about defending your title. The goal was for Miesha Tate, it seems, to get there, and she got there, and it's like, well, what do I do now?
She had no new goals. She never recovered from that win.
That was one of the most dramatic things I think that has been caught on camera, was her going to her corner and explaining, I don't want to do this anymore after the loss to Raquel Pennington.
I know that we talk about retirement, and some of them come back, and some of them we believe them. Uriah Faber, I don't think we're going to be seeing him again. But I have a feeling Miesha might come back at some point, because feeling that it's gone, it's not gone forever. Give her, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 months, whatever, and suddenly you miss it, and that hunger returns. She was a different human being with the belt. She didn't know how to be the champion. She knew how to be the hungry, desperate challenger.
Your pick, Robin, for upset of the year, because you have a different one.
Yeah, I know this was something we talked about as a submission of the year. I saw Nate Diaz beating Conor McGregor as an incredible upset. I got together with my buddy Brian Stan, and we did a breakdown going into it. And Brian is an expert in the art of fighting, and neither one of us saw this coming by any stretch of the imagination. And it was because I undervalued the smarts of Nate Diaz. We know he can throw punches. We know he's got a good left hand. We know he's good on the ground, all that. But it was the smarts. His understanding of where Conor may be porous, and that is later. How to apply pressure, how to manage and manipulate the use of energy and speed and pace, all of those things. And that punch choke right there, the left hand punching him into the V of the arm. I'll never get tired of seeing that. I was so blown away. I'll never forget that fight. And neither will Nate Diaz and neither will Conor McGregor. It made Conor McGregor a better fighter forever. It made Nate Diaz a legend. It made Nate Diaz lots of money. It's going to make Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor get a third fight one day. It was a wonderful moment in time. I was a fan of Conor McGregor going in. I was a fan of both men coming out.
And UFC 196, to me, if someone were to ask me, sell me on mixed martial arts, what is so dynamic about it? That night, as we've just gone over with Nate Diaz submitting Conor McGregor, Miesha Tate coming from behind to defeat Holm, and yet there were so many outlets afterwards that were talking about how can you build a sport when your top stars can lose like that, and instead it created new stars and it built to even bigger fights after it. The rematch with Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor, so much bigger afterwards, and I think Conor McGregor was a bigger star after the loss.
And a better fighter.
Yeah.